Hello and welcome to Burning Waters of the Moon Tarot. My name is Desiree and this video is a reading for the energy of Leo. So I am using the original tarot. I don't know why I can't remember the name of this deck, but it's the tarot deck done by Pamela Coleman Smith, and it's put out by DeBry. And this is a special edition. It's got this cute little back and the gilded edging. So anyhow, it's the RWS deck, and this is based off RWS. It's the Ehrenberg Tarot, which I did a flip through of this amazing deck, and it has a great story as well. So I put the link to that flip through in the description box if you are interested. And I also did a flip through of this deck as well, and this is called Primordial Tarot, and I'm using this deck as an oracle deck. The meanings are a little bit different, so when I pull this card at the end, I will pull out my book and we'll read what the meaning of that deck, of that card is for you. All right, as I said at the beginning of the video, this is a reading for the energy of Leo, and we all have Leo in our charts by way of the house system. So you may or may not have a planet or rising descendant in Leo, but you absolutely have a house in the sign of Leo. And what that means is that we can all access these energies as we need to. It may be a little bit easier for some than it is for others, but with a little practice and patience and perseverance, we can definitely call on the courageous heart of the Leo, the lion. Leo the lion. And I find it very comforting that we can call upon any of these zodiac energies as we see fit. All right, let's see what's going on with you, Leo. So we've got Temperance, Major Arcana, Two of Swords in reverse, Air, and King of Wands, Air of Fire. All right, so we've got two cards of balance here, and then we've got the King of Wands, and he's he's Air of Fire. And so what that means is he's very passionate about what he does, but he's direct and he's very understanding, and he's able to map out a plan and work his plan, do what he needs to do. He's very warm and compassionate towards others. He's that person that's like a counselor or someone who's just very nurturing and caring of others, and he can see, because he's a king. He's very cerebral, but he's very, at the same time, understanding. So he's been through a lot, but he is that guy that you would want as a mentor, as a guide. And I think this is a great pairing here, especially because we have this Two of Swords in reverse, which is indicating maybe a decision that you're having trouble making. And then we've got Temperance, of course, but let's see what the Ehrenberg Tarot has to say about these three energies here. Though I do see a decision that's it's perplexing you. And two cards about balance too. Let's see what that's all about. All right, I'm going to do my split here, and then one more shuffle. All right, Leo. Strength, Two of Wands in reverse, Fire, Seven of Swords, Air, the Hierophant, Major Arcana, Eight of Pentacles, Earth, 10 of Swords in reverse, Air, 10 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Nine of Cups in reverse. Okay, you know, right away with this decision, we've got the Seven of Wands, which is, let me switch your view, which is like a deceit something that is presenting itself in not in its truest form. Okay. And then we've got the high priestess right under this situation here, which begs us to really know ourselves, really go deep into our own souls, and because the high priestess holds the key, and you're the high priestess. You're that person who really knows yourself, and by going deep inside, and learning all that there is to know, and learning the depths and the darkness of your soul. Not darkness in a way that I mean like evil darkness, more darkness, things that have been hidden away from you, things that are not readily accessible. And so what I'm getting the feeling here is this decision, why it's has you kind of held up in a way, is because you have this intuition of there being some kind of deceit. And then we've got the Hierophant here as well, and these two I kind of feel like are a pair of one another. They are both energies of going beyond the veil, beyond this current reality. And and what I'm feeling at the Hierophant here is all about customs, and what I feel is that it's almost like you're being kind of blindsided by a custom, or what's that other word I'm looking for? Just it's a situation of that's the way things have always been done, but yet that's not sitting well with you for some reason, and your intuition is what's driving this uncertainty. Let's see, with temperance we have, temperance is all about bringing things into equilibrium. And we have the Two of Wands in reverse. And then we've got strength and the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like there is sort of a battle going on within yourself with this Ten of Pentacles. That's like the legacy card. That's the thing that we passed down, and I feel like it's directly related to the Hierophant here. And with this Two of Wands, I feel like there is just something that you want to do, like your heart is calling you to do something, but you're being held back by some unspoken forces is what I'm feeling here. And not only that, these unspoken forces, it's the way that it's always been done, but you are a trailblazer in a way, and that's kind of what I see is coming from this Strength card here. The people, or there's some energies who are kind of wanting you to go in a different direction, but you know your heart is not in it. Your heart is in something else. Your heart is in say going against the grain. And the reason why everyone wants you to do as it's always been done is because they don't really know anything different. They don't know what you know, I guess you could say, what you feel in your heart, and what you are ultimately going to bring to the table is going to be something that they can't even really fathom, that they don't really understand. And what I'm seeing here with this King of Wands, I really feel like this is you, because this king is looking at all of this, and he seems to be aware of what's going on. And And because we have this 8 of Pentacles here, right next to this 10 of Swords in reverse, I really do feel that this King of Wands, you're really, you're putting your work, not work, you're like digging your heels in, like you don't want to conform, okay? You're kind of like I said, a trailblazer, and you're not going to allow this, I want to say religion, but it's not so much religion. It's just more of a culture, of a that's the way it's always been done type thing. And it's more like others just don't want to sway off the road. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to change the way things have always been done. But things can't always stay the same. And as a matter of fact, our world is constantly changing. Cells are constantly dividing. Cells are constantly dying. And they're renewing themselves. So there is nothing that is staying the same. You know, we've got the erosion of mountains. We've got the movement of the tectonic plates. I mean, our world is just constantly changing, and ourselves, we are constantly changing. Not only are we changing by cell turnover, but the experiences that we're going through. My candle just went out. Let me get another one. The experiences that we go through on a daily basis are changing us in ways, and they change us in very subtle ways, much like the way that the tectonic plates move. And and so what I see happening here is, like I said, you are a trailblazer, and you're doing it for not only for your own benefit, though it will benefit you, but you're doing it because you are recognizing that there is a better way to do things, that there is a more efficient, or just a more maybe even in an empathetic way, because of our King of Wands. You just innately feel, instinctively feel, that there is just a better way of doing things, and the others around you are really sticking to their guns, and they're like, nope, this is the way that it's always been done, and they're trying to sway you from this, but you are holding steadfast. You're not letting go of your guns, which I think is amazing. You're really sticking to it. You're not allowing them to steamroll you. And so I think that's amazing, Leo, and you having that courage to stick to what it is that you believe in, what you feel in your heart is amazing, because I do feel like it's more than one person that's trying to sway you. So awesome. I think that's great. That is stick to it. Stick to what your intuition is telling you. Just because it's always been done that way does not mean that is the right way. And in order for us to grow as a society, as a people, we can't continue doing things the way that everyone has done them for however long. You know, things change, new ideas are brought forth, and there's new studies that are being done that are showing new ways to do things, new ways to be more efficient, different ways to learn from one another. And like I said, we can't stay stuck in these old energies and these old situations just because someone is afraid to rock the boat or is afraid to try something new. So be that innovator, be that trailblazer, and that word just keeps coming to my mind. Be that person who is going to institute change, to make a difference. All right, Leo, let's see what the Primordial Tarot has to say. So this is the suit of nature, And this is 5. I think it's bones. They all have a name. Ooh. Oof. Well, we can't find it. It says, oh, there it is. Okay, bones. Oh no, this is stone. Okay, stone of nature. This gorilla balances a stone on his head. He remains still, as if in deep thought. If he were to move too suddenly, the stone would fall. A stone resting on his head won't hurt him, and perhaps it even helps with focus. If the stone were hurled at his head, that would be a different story. Whether flesh, stone, or propulsion, everything that exists is energy. When energy is balanced, there is stability. When energy is out of balance, there is chaos. Almost always, stability brings health and chaos brings pain, but not always. There are times when chaos or even outright destruction are appropriate. In this case, quiet contemplation and thoughtful approach are this gorilla's safest choice. Divinatory meaning, a balanced approach, thinking things through and be aware of the consequences. Okay, so that kind of, puts us a little bit more on alert. Before acting in haste, yes, you have these ideas, you have these trailblazing ideas. Maybe, running down the trail with a torch just blazing is not the way to approach this. Perhaps you need to be more subtle in your approach. Perhaps you need to keep this stone on your head and work at this in a way of smooth, calculated movements that are very slow and gradual, because it takes time to break down traditions. It takes time to institute change when it's so ingrained in a society or in a people. And so while it feels for you that this is right and this is the way it should be done and it should change, it may not be received by others quite so easily. So kind of, instead of rushing into it, don't give up on the dream, right? Don't give up on what it is, how you see the future, okay? You don't want to be talked out of something just because it's the way it's always been done. You're going to have to come at it at a roundabout way. You're going to have to come at it in more of a smooth and calculated way, like this gorilla balancing this stone on his head, keeping composure, making smooth, calculated movements to achieve your goal. And I think that's the best course of action. But like I said, don't give up on the you've got to shift you've got to make sure your game plan, that's the King of Wands, right? You've got to make sure your game plan is most efficient, and you've got to keep the goal, keep the goal in mind, and work towards that goal, inch towards that goal, okay? All right, Leo, thank you so much for joining me. And if you can think of anyone who can benefit from this reading, please share. Just trying to help. Let's just try to help people as much as possible, because how else can we grow if we don't bring our brothers and sisters up along with us, right? So I will see you next video. Take care.